What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is July 21st, 2022. I'm JD from New York, as always, coming to you from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Thursday afternoons, wherever you may be. It is absolutely pouring outside right now in New York City. It was hailing just a couple of minutes ago. So if you guys hear any strange noises in the background, it would probably be thunder and lightning. So make sure you guys are aware of that throughout the duration of this video. But we got some news today, man. We got some news. We're going to go over some cryptic tweets again from Bray Wyatt. Cody Rhodes wins an ESPY last night on ESPN. Seth Rollins had some harsh words for fans who wanted a photo op with him at his wrestling school. And AEW has held talks with the GOAT himself, Mauro Ronaldo. That brings the biggest fucking smile to my face, man. What is going on there? We'll talk about it. Also, Edge, he's about to return to WWE, but what type of gimmick or character is Edge going to be partaking in on WWE television? All this plus so much more right here on OTS. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. I need 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. Make sure you guys go check out the AEW Dynamite post show with Jesse and I live last night. And make sure you guys go check out the Monday Night Raw post show on Monday and anything else that you might have missed on the channel. So make sure you guys go check that out on the homepage. Also, hit that join button because Sunday we're going to begin members-only chat for the flagship podcast every Sunday night live, starting with episode 437 of Off the Script. So hit that join button and become an OTS VIP. Let's start at the top, man. Let's start at the top. I knew this was going to happen, and I'm glad it happened. It couldn't have happened to a better guy. And what a moment it was when Cody Rhodes returned to WWE to wrestle Seth Rollins in probably what is the WWE match of the year so far. Cody Rhodes wins an ESPY last night on ESPN. He's out of action right now with a fully torn pectoral muscle. Didn't stop him from picking up an ESPY last night on ESPN. ESPN hosted their ESPY Awards last night, which included the category for Best WWE Moment. And Cody Rhodes had some stiff competition from The Undertaker and from Stone Cold Steve Austin. In the end, Big E was also a part of that as well, him winning the WWE title last year. But in the end, it was Cody Rhodes winning the ESPY. He got a huge fan reaction coming back at WrestleMania, wrestled his heart out at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. 6-year absence from the company, on his way to a WWE championship, no doubt about it when he returns. It's been amazing to see Cody Rhodes just come back and go right to the top and be the face of the company that we all knew he was in the very beginning. While Cody was absent from WWE, obviously you guys know he was doing his thing with AEW. He worked for New Japan, Ring of Honor. He was one of the faces of AEW. He was an executive vice president underneath Tony Khan, along with the Bucks and Kenny Omega over at All Elite Wrestling. Now, while Cody Rhodes may have parted ways with AEW, he returned to WWE in January 2022, and he is still getting support from everybody over in AEW. But he did win the ESPY last night, and congratulations to him. I knew it was going to be that way. It had to be that way, because that was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. You want to talk about greatest WrestleMania moments of all time, that's definitely going to be up there for WrestleMania moments of all time. Cody Rhodes coming back and winning an ESPY, so congratulations to him. He was there. He walked out on the red carpet with Brandy Rhodes without a sling. So take that as you will. Cody Rhodes, you know, the predicted timetable for his return is probably around October, November, but they're going to keep him out, and they're going to bring him back at the Royal Rumble. He's going to put on some more muscle. He's going to get in the best shape of his life. He's going to come back and win the Royal Rumble and hopefully wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in Los Angeles. That is, if WWE doesn't go out and get Dwayne. AEW. AEW has held talks with Mauro Ronaldo. I love this. I'm so excited about this, man. This is fucking great. AEW now, you know, they got so many commentators. They got so many play-by-play guys. They got Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, Taz. They got Jim Ross. They got William Regal almost every week there. They got Ricky Starks. They got Chris Jericho. They got Mark Henry. They got Big Show. You name it, man. They put anybody and everybody in that commentary chair. What about me? When is it going to be my turn, TK? Bro, I'm already on the payroll, according to the geeks online, right? So let's get JD for AEW commentary, man. But however, you guys want to look at the AEW commentary team, there's one name out there that, to me, is still the best in the business. He was the heart and soul, along with everybody else during that time period. The Johnnies and the Ciampas and the Coles and the Ricochets and the Blacks and the Andrades, and you name it, man. You name it. Mauro Ronaldo was the heart and soul of NXT Black and Gold. He left WWE in 2020, and Ronaldo was on commentary for the big title match. If you guys remember, during an Impact pay-per-view, Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann hasn't been used since, and AEW, surprisingly, hasn't used him at all either. And he's pretty much the main reason, the primary reason why I even ordered that show. He was the main reason why I ordered that Impact pay-per-view, and I don't watch Impact. But Kenny Omega and Rich Swann was amplified because of Mauro Ronaldo. Dave Meltzer, he was asked about whether or not AEW had considered bringing in Ronaldo back in the day or not too long ago, or bringing him back in for more work. Meltzer confirmed that discussions between AEW and Mauro's management had taken place some time back, he says. So he says this in a tweet, as you guys see there on the screen. Meltzer didn't mention whether or not an agreement was reached, so there is still no confirmation that Ronaldo will be heading to AEW soon, but the company has indeed reached out to him. Now, I know Kevin Kelly, he is a great voice for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I was happy to see him get in at the Forbidden Door. I even had tweeted out, and it went somewhat viral on my end, almost 3,000 likes on my tweet. I'm like, AEW needs to bring in Mauro Ronaldo for the Forbidden Door. And I know a lot of people agreed with my take on that. Mauro is the best. He is absolutely phenomenal. I know he's not everybody's cup of coffee, but the energy and the infectious attitude that Mauro brings, the knowledge that Mauro brings, the preparation that Mauro brings, Mauro Ronaldo is an absolutely phenomenal storyteller. And he is so great at what he does. He is the best voice to me in modern day combat sports, whether it's UFC, boxing, or pro wrestling. That man amplified NXT to a point where it was already the best pro wrestling show on any platform. And Mauro took it to the next level, if that was even fucking conceivable at that point. He's amazing. And I hope AEW, I swear to God, I hope Tony Khan, one of these days, surprises us and says, yeah, Mauro Ronaldo's coming on. Mauro Ronaldo's going to be the voice of AEW on Friday night for Rampage. Live every week, 8 p.m. on TNT. That's what I'd love to see. Excalibur, the voice of Dynamite, and then Mauro, the voice of Rampage, every Friday night live, 8 p.m. when they finally, hopefully, move that show to a normal night and a normal time slot. I hope it happens. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is one of the most cryptic figures in all of pro wrestling right now. You guys know about Bray Wyatt. Nobody knows where he's going to end up. Nobody knows if he's actually going to go back to professional wrestling. But the way he's been tweeting, it seems like we are imminent for a Bray Wyatt return. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, and his Twitter account is all confusing. But ever since his release last July, every post he has made has been analyzed in regards to death. Many speculating that they are pretty much leading towards a WWE return. All these tweets leading to a WWE return, possibly of The Fiend. If you guys look at his profile picture, there's a little mini head of The Fiend. His header is a picture of The Fiend. The one thing that's really throwing me off about Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, is that he trademarked his own name. Now, that's a no-no in regards to WWE and a possible return. He trademarked Wyndham 6. Now, I don't know what that means. if he is going back to WWE, he would not have trademarked his new name. WWE would be all over that. Now, I don't know. Maybe something has changed in regards to the relationship of Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, and WWE. I don't know. But it could be his new name. It could be his new moniker. It could be a new faction he may be leading. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Wyndham made another cryptic tweet, and he shared a weird drawing alongside the caption, "I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open." Now, obviously, that's a little bizarre, and nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. But it wasn't that got people's attention. It was this. However, the Vince McMahon quote caught a lot of people's eyes. It says, "Begin again, kid. It's what you do. VKM." Now, that tweet obviously has garnered a lot of attention from social media, and that quote from Vince McMahon, nobody knows what to make of it outside of, well, if he's quoting Vince McMahon, he may be on his way back to WWE. I don't know what that means. I've said it multiple times. I do think Bray Wyatt's on his way back to WWE in some way, shape, or form. And the reason I say that is because, A, I don't know Wyndham, but B, I feel like the way that he is and how he's built and the level of creativity that man possesses, I would be a betting man to say that I don't think he was happy with the way his storyline, his story arc played out. And I do think that if Wyndham had an opportunity to round up everything and really bring everything to a conclusion and wrap up the storyline of The Fiend, I don't think he'd want to do that anywhere but WWE. That's why I'm saying that. That's just a guess. It's a guesstimation on my behalf. But I feel like because of that, he may want to end up back in WWE. And let's be real, WWE right now is in a position where they need top talent. With Cody Rhodes out, Roman Reigns on a part-time schedule, Brock Lesnar's not going to be there every fucking week, Randy Orton out, and their lack of ability to create new stars, they need top guys in the company. They let one of them go in Bray Wyatt. Whether you like him or not, he was a top guy. He was being paid as a top guy. I thought he was a top guy. They fucked him over. Now he's in a position. He waited it out. They released him. He waited it out. Now they need him. He doesn't need them. They need Bray Wyatt. They need Wyndham Rotunda. So they may be willing to pay him to come back. What they're going to offer him, I don't know. He's not going to be making $4 million like it was rumored he was making under his last deal. But he is going to command whatever he wants because they need him. He doesn't need them. He can go anywhere he wants and make the fucking money he wants to make. WWE needs Bray Wyatt. But the thing is, the hang-up on my end is the Wyatt 6. He trademarked his own name. He trademarked potentially his new gimmick or his new character, new faction, whatever the fuck it's going to be. We don't know. But I'd love to see him back. That level of creativity is a rarity in this business, and I'd love to see him back doing what he does best, and that is entertaining us, keeping us guessing, keeping us on our toes. That's why he's so beloved in the community. So we'll see what happens with Bray Wyatt, but these last couple of tweets have definitely gotten people talking. A little bit of an update on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's AEW return date is imminent, according to Fightful Select. There was a report earlier in the week from Sean Ross Sapp that tentative plans are in place for Kenny Omega, former AEW champion Kenny Omega, to make his return from injury, having last wrestled at Full Gear, dropping the title to Adam Hangman Page. The report noted that there are also rumors of a trios feud when he returns, which, this is just me speculating at this point. It would obviously be him and the Bucks, and I would assume Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. It would be the Undisputed Elite kind of blowing up and then going to war with each other. But Kenny Omega, we don't know when he's actually coming back. Matt Jackson is hurt. Suffered a stinger last week in that tag team match where they lost the titles to Swerve and Our Glory. He suffered a stinger. Adam Cole is going to be out for a little bit. Kyle O'Reilly is still out. Bobby Fish, I believe, just got cleared. So I don't know what's going on. But a trios match with them makes the most sense. That may not happen right now. It may happen somewhere down the road. But if they do come back and Matt Jackson is okay and Matt Jackson gets cleared, I pitched, what about Will Ospreay and the United Empire? Because Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay have been feuding back and forth on social media for what seems to be a few months now. So I'd love to see that. I think that'd be great. Or just give me a one-on-one match with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, man. Just take my money. So we'll see what happens with that. But there is a rumor of a major feud for Kenny Omega's return. Meltzer spoke more in detail about Kenny Omega's return, and he said this, and I quote, he's hoping to be at All Out. That is the target date. I don't know if he will or won't. He's hoping for it, but that's kind of the target date right now. The Chicago show, All Out, I think, is the target for Omega's return. I think it's the target for CM Punk, but I don't know that either of them are sure on this. Also, it's probably the target for Bryan Danielson as well. End quote. Now, I don't want Omega to rush himself back. I don't. I want Omega to be back when he's back and 100% healthy. We don't need to rush him back. They are fine with what they have right now. They're operating under, obviously, a lot of injuries, but it's not to a point where it's like, oh, my God, we need to get somebody back. We can't handle this right now. We can't handle television. We can't book television. They've been doing a very, very good job with all of these major names out. Punk and Danielson and Miro was out, and Andrade was out, and Omega's out, MJF is out, Adam Cole is out. I mean, any of those names, just a small handful of those names is crippling to any company. They're all out here on AEW's watch all at the same time. And AEW is still going, and they are fine. So I would rather Kenny Omega wait and be ready 100% before he gets back in the ring. There's no need to rush. AEW is fine without him. They've been fine since November, and they're fine now going into All Out. So we'll see what happens with that. If he comes back, fantastic. He's much needed, and he's sorely missed by everybody. And he brings a level of importance and significance to the show. And I honestly think with him coming back, a lot of the old hardcore AEW fan base, they want to see Omega back, and they'll get excited about that. I think business will be up in all aspects with AEW when Kenny Omega returns to television again. But I don't want him to rush anything. They're fine right now without him. So take your time and get back when you get back, and make sure you're 100%. We are okay without him for now. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins got himself into a little bit of trouble this week, man. He had to issue a public apology for harsh behavior towards fans who saw him at his wrestling school, who wanted a chat and wanted a photo op. Seth Rollins shared on Instagram that he was very harsh towards a couple of young WWE fans on Tuesday when they approached Rollins and Becky Lynch, his wife, while the couple was in the middle of a workout. It happened at his Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in Davenport, Iowa. Rollins said that he was very harsh and abrupt towards them. He wanted to publicly apologize to them and asked if the fans would consider returning to the gym so he could apologize to them in person. He wrote this with a silly picture of himself, and I quote, "Hello, fine folks. I love interacting with my fans. You guys are the best. Your continued support of me and Black and Brave Wrestling Enterprise is what keeps our collective heart beating strong. Today, a couple of young cats saw my wife and me training in the back of the brick and mortar and stopped by to say hello. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of a long workout. I was very harsh and abrupt in my candor. For that, I apologize. There's no excuse for that. If either of you folks who I was short with today are reading this, please come back another time. I'd love to apologize in person. That open invite is all-inclusive, too. Feel free to pop by the school. If I happen to be there, please just be conscious of what's going on around you. Don't be deterred if I'm teaching a class or deep in the sweat game. It may take a few minutes, but I promise I'm down to take a pic or have a quick chat. In closing, thank you again to all of you who have had our backs over the years. Here's to many more. Our door is always open during business hours, so come on by." Signed, Seth Rollins. Rollins started Black and Brave in 2014, and obviously Seth Rollins is notorious. I've heard stories about Seth Rollins being nasty in person, but you may have caught him on a bad day. Fans are something else, man. Fans are really something else. I've heard stories about Seth, but in this instance, I don't blame him. How many stories have you heard over the past couple of years? People camping out at the Talent Hotel, people fucking camping out at the airport, knowing what a Sasha Banks flight schedule is, or waiting to sign fucking autographs at the airport so that you can put them on eBay. The wrestlers, you know, obviously they're in the public spotlight and they need to be professional at all times. I get that they may have this certain animosity towards some of the fan base, because let's be real, the wrestling fan base is fucking weird. They are just fucking weird. And in this case, you know, Seth took it upon himself to be harsh because he was in the middle of working. You know, his workout is him on the clock. That's him. He's getting ready for whatever he's got to do. He's got a big match at SummerSlam coming up against Matt Riddle. He's in the middle of a workout with his wife. That is his job. You are bothering him pretty much during his work hours. He's working out with his wife. Now, if you want to stay there and wait till he's done, that's a different story. But don't go up to him in the middle of what is quote-unquote his work hours. Now, I don't agree with him for being as angry as he was. You know, he could have told them, listen, guys, I'll be happy to meet you. Let me finish my workout, and then I'll attend to you, and I'll ask you, you know, I'll get your autograph, or I'll answer whatever questions you guys may have for me or Becky, whatever the case may be. Fans are ridiculous. Yes, Seth could have handled this a little bit better, a little bit more professionally, but fans have to understand that, and that's what the end of this quote was. Please be conscious of what's going on around you. Don't be deterred if I'm teaching a class or working out. It may take an extra few minutes, but I promise I'll be down for a pic or whatever, a quick chat. Just wait. Just wait. So next time you see someone like Seth, or you see someone like Randy Orton or whoever you see working out in the gym, wait. Wait outside. Wait till they're done. Be respectful. I guarantee you, you know, if they are notorious for being a prick, there'll be less of one if you actually show some level of respect towards them, because they're on the clock and they're doing whatever they got to do for their job. Don't interrupt them while they're working out. It's just common logic. And finally, guys, Edge. Edge returning to WWE as the Rated R Superstar. Brian Alvarez talked about Edge on Wrestling Observer Live and read a question from a fan asking if Edge's return to WWE Raw on Monday will end up being a swerve with Edge rejoining Judgment Day. God, I hope not. Alvarez shot that down and said that the Rated R merchandise has already been made for Edge's return. Alvarez said, and I quote, I think they've already got Rated R Superstar merch, so I'm pretty sure that he's returning as the Rated R Superstar. Now, what that means as a babyface or a heel, I don't know. I don't think he's coming back to Judgment Day, especially because he left Judgment Day. He left because he didn't want to be involved with anything spooky. But then again, they haven't done anything spooky with Judgment Day since he's left. End quote. For weeks, WWE's been airing vignettes for Edge's return to TV. Obviously, you see all of the memorabilia, like a Mick Foley flannel or a license plate that says Latino Heat, a John Cena You Can't See Me cap, an RKO t-shirt, medals indicating Kurt Angle. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of memorabilia from Edge's past, and I believe that will be used in storyline to take him wherever he needs to go in the future. I could see Edge returning and teaming with Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Finn Balor, by the way, replaced Edge as the leader in Judgment Day. The vignettes have been airing for a couple of weeks now and are definitely leading to Edge's return. It is not Bray Wyatt. It is not a new WWE superstar. It is Edge coming back as the Rated R Superstar, and that is going to be a much-needed boost to Monday Night Raw. I think Edge coming back as a babyface, even though I think he's a great heel as well. Edge coming back, maintaining that fucking intensity that he had when he was feuding with the WWE Champion Roman Reigns, or Universal Champion Roman Reigns at WrestleMania last year, with Bryan involved. His intensity, man, as a babyface, he went into that match as a baby. It was incredible. He is so good at what he does. And I would love to see the WWE title back on Monday Night Raw. I'd love to see Edge in the top-tier program on Monday night, maybe getting one last run at the WWE Championship. I think it's worth it. I really do. We need something. We need something of substance We need a top-tier talent. We need a championship on the show, top-tier program for the World Championship. Some stories to really engulf ourselves in. Right now, there's nothing. There's nothing because WWE has both titles handcuffed with Roman Reigns, and I don't know what's going on there. So Edge being back on Monday night and possibly with a WWE Championship run in his future, I'd love to see it. I really would. But the Rated R Superstar, man, how could you hate on the Rated R Superstar? So we'll see what happens on Monday night. I do see Edge coming back this coming Monday live from Madison Square Garden. Guys, that's all I got. I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me for a little bit on this Thursday afternoon. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and now Cameo. Also, I got some great stuff coming up, man. We got some major announcements coming up, some new sponsors, a new partnership coming up. I'll fill you guys in on that in the weeks to come. Everything is in the works right now. So make sure you guys keep up to date with me on social media. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Join the VIP club. Become a channel member. It's going to be coming to you in the ways of live streams on Sunday night, channel members only. And we're going to do a live channel hangout with members only on Thursday, I believe, SummerSlam week. So keep an eye and an ear out for that. And also, guys, most important, hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. I will see you back live on Friday night after Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage right here on Off the Script. Enjoy Thursdays, guys, and I'll see you live right back here on Friday night for OTS.